In the last class, as a 17 point, we discussed about Venn diagrams for 3 sets as well as for 2 sets. And by observing those Venn diagrams, we stated some statements related to the properties of sets as well as some cardinal properties. And among those cardinal properties, one thing which very important is that n of A union B is equals to n of A plus n of B minus n of A intersection B. Okay? And another thing is this: for suppose n of A union B plus n of, or otherwise minus. Okay, see this, if you observe the Venn diagram for 2 sets, this region is meant for A intersection B, this region is meant for A minus B, this region is meant for B minus A. Then using those 3, again we have a chance to write the cardinal properties like n of A union B is equals to n of A minus B plus n of A intersection B plus n of B minus A. And another thing, for that n of A union B is number of elements in A union B. N of A union B is, see, n of A minus B plus n of B minus A is just nothing but n of A delta B. A delta B is simply A union B, A minus B union B minus A. The union of these two regions is A delta B. So in another way, we write that n of A union B is n of A delta B plus n of A intersection B. Okay, just have a look. We have 3 different ideas related to the n of A union B, and these 2 ideas are directly we observed from the Venn diagram. And but this is the idea which is, see, by using these 2 statements, by combining 1 or 2 statements, we will generate this n of A union B is equals to n of A plus n of B minus n of A intersection B. And now I am going to extend this n of A union B is equals to n of A plus n of B minus n of A intersection B for 3 sets. Okay, here it is the statement for 2 sets. Now I will extend it for 3 sets, and then we can extend it for any number of sets. Now just have a look. The next thing is n of A union B union C. Right. So what is n of A union B union C? I have this n of A union B. So for that, first of all, you just treat this A union B as some x. If you treat this A union B as some x, so you just replace this A union B with x. Then this n of A union B union C will become like n of x union C. And since it is n of x union C, then by that above rule, this n of x union C can be written as this is equals to n of x plus n of C minus n of x intersection C. Right. But what is x? As we consider that x is simply A union B, so you just replace that x with A union B now. So this is equals to n of A union B plus n of C minus n of, here x intersection C. Is it right? That x intersection C, x is A union B, x intersection C means A union B intersection C. Is it clear? Right. And then this is equals to this n of A union B can be written as, how we need to write this n of A union B, just by this above formula it can be replaced by n of A plus n of B minus n of A intersection B, this n of A union B. And then I have n of C, so plus n of C minus n of A union B intersection C. Here we need to use the distributive law. This A union B intersection C can be written as like this: A intersection C union B intersection C. Everybody just pay your attention here. Okay, n of A intersection C union B intersection C. That in the sense A intersection C is one set, B intersection C is another set. There is union in between those two. So again you need to apply this n of A union B. See, this law, this rule for the sets A intersection C and B intersection C. So how can I write? So just have a look. the first four terms won't change. So this is equals to n of a plus n of b plus n of c. So just write these three terms at a place, minus n of a intersection b, minus, now I am going to use this rule for these two sets, a intersection c and b intersection c. So how can we write? Just have a look there. Yeah, n of the first set a intersection c plus n of the second set b intersection c minus n of a intersection c intersection b intersection c. Just have a look. Okay, and a intersection c union b intersection c can be written like this manner. And now at the end, see, this is minus n of a intersection b and this is minus n of a intersection c, and if you apply minus for this term, minus n of b intersection c, at the end minus of minus plus a intersection c intersection b intersection c. That in essence everything is intersection, the common elements of a, b and c. So simply you just write it like this, a intersection b intersection c. Is it right? So at the end this is equals to n of a plus n of b plus n of c minus n of a intersection b minus n of b intersection c minus n of c intersection a, and minus of minus plus n of a intersection b intersection c. Just add it up. For two sets it is very clear that n of a union b is equals to n of a plus n of b minus n of a intersection b. But whereas if you think about three sets, then this n of a union b union c is n of a plus n of b plus n of c minus n of a intersection b, b intersection c, c intersection a, and then plus n of a intersection b intersection c. Just have a look. Once again at the end, just have a look. So for two sets it is very clear that n of a union b is equals to n of a plus n of b minus n of a intersection b. For three sets again, just we derived that n of a union b union c is n of a plus n of b plus n of c minus n of a intersection b n of b intersection c minus n of c intersection a plus n of a intersection b intersection c. And instead of a, b, c, if you use a1, a2, a3, you just rewrite it. N of a1, n of a2, n of a3. So we need to add, and that's why use sigma n of ai, where I is running from 1 to 3. Whereas, see, n of ai intersection aj. See, ai intersection aj means here a1, a2, a3, only 3 sets are involved. So you need to take every possible pair. What are the possible pairs? a1, a2 is one pair, a1, a3 is the other pair, a2, a3 is the third pair. No other possibility will happen as a pair. So you need to include all the possible pairs. So minus and then plus n of a1 intersection a2 intersection a3. Just from this a union b union c formula. So now what I am going to tell you is, this is for 2 sets and this is for 3 sets. We have a chance to extend it for 4 sets, 5 sets and for n sets also. If there are n sets like this a1 union a2 union a3 union an, then the formula can be written in such a manner. In the first step you need to add, see, n of a1, n of a2, n of a3 like that up to n of an. Okay, and we need to add all the things. And in the next, see, alternately you will get plus and minus signs. Plus and then minus and then plus and then minus and then plus like that. Alternate plus minus signs. That's one observation. And the next observation is, first term will contain the summation of all possible n of a1, n of a2, n of a3 and so on. Okay, what I am going to tell you is, once again, if you all look there, this first term is simply nothing but n of a1 plus and so on plus n of an. This is the first term. Okay, how many terms are there here? If you observe, there exist n terms because there are n sets and we need to choose one set from the n. See, selecting one set from the n sets is already mentioned you like NC1 base. So here you will get NC1 terms in this bracket. Okay, right. And for the next group, minus, okay, minus of, see, every 2 terms you need to consider. Every 2 term means every possible pair you need to select. Every possible pair. every possible pair of sets you need to select. How many possible pairs will happen? Since there are n sets, a pair means we need 2 out of those n. 2 out of those n can be selected in NC2 ways. So here in this summation, totally there exist NC2 terms. That's one another idea, okay? And whereas coming for the third one, so there you need to select every possible 3 sets, okay? Okay, see this term consists of sum of all possible 3 sets. See, sum of all possible 3 sets in the sense, in that third term there exists NC3 terms because there are n sets and you need to select 3. So the first one contains NC1 terms, second term contains NC2 terms, third one contains NC3 terms. Like that, if you move on, at the end it contains NCN. NCN means only one term, and that one term is like this. Okay, so this is the rule for union of n sets. Okay, very rarely we will use, but we need to note down. Okay, in most of the cases, in most of the problems, we just go with the first formula and with the second formula. That's it. But you need to know. Okay, just have a look, and then I will give you some problems related to this. Simple problems, okay. 19a. The problem is saying that in a group of 1000, so there are 1000 people in the group, and 700 speak Telugu and 430 speak English. Then we need to find how many speak both as well as how many speak only Telugu. That's the problem. See, two ways to solve the problem are: one is from the Venn diagrams and the other using A union B. It's our choice actually. Okay. There are how many people are there in the group? In the group there are 1000 persons. So you need to consider the total number of persons as 1000 and 700 speak Telugu. So n of t is equals to 700. Number of people who speak Telugu as well as the number of people who speak English are 430. And as per the problem, total number of people are 1000. So they may speak either Telugu or English. The union of both the languages is just 1000. Okay, using this we have a formula for n of a union b as n of a plus n of b minus n of a intersection b. Use that formula to find n of t intersection e. That's one idea. Okay, how can we find? So we know that n of t union e is equals to n of t plus n of e minus n of t intersection e. So this t union e is just 1000, whereas n of t is 700 and n of e is 430, and we need to find number of persons who speak both the languages. That intersection part we need to find, so take it as question mark. And at the end, while simplifying, you just send this question mark this side and 1000 that side. So the question mark value is equals to 1130 minus 1000, and you get it as 130. So totally 130 students, or you may say 130 people, will speak both the languages. And this is one way of finding the number of persons who speak both the languages using n of a union b formula. And the other way is, without using this formula, directly you just analyze the Venn diagram and then you will get that the number of persons who speak both the languages. Now I will go with that idea once again. Okay, just look there now. Another way of solving the problem. See, so you just take one circle for the Telugu speaking persons and the other circle for the English speaking persons. At the end we need to find the number of persons who speak both the languages. But I don't know the number of persons who speak both the languages, so you just let that the number of persons who speak both the languages as x. Okay. At the end we need to find that x, because how many speak both? We are taking that as x now. You just take it as x and then find it. Okay. Now 700 persons speak Telugu. So this first circle is for the Telugu speaking people. So there must be 700 persons in this first circle. Already x persons are included here. See, this first circle must contain only 700. Already x persons are included. So in this part you have to take 700 minus x. And now if you combine 700 minus x with x, you will get 700 in the first circle. Whereas when you think about the English speaking persons, in the second circle there must be 430, already x is included, so here you need to take 430 minus x. Okay, now in this way if you are thinking, just leave about this notations. Okay, so one circle for the Telugu, one circle for the English, let x be the persons who are speaking both the languages, this 700 minus x here and 430 minus x there. Now if you combine, if you add these three, which is nothing but the total number of persons speaking both, speaking only English, speaking only Telugu, and we know the regions of the Venn diagram. This 700 minus x represents the person speaking only Telugu. This 430 minus x represents the person speaking only English, whereas this x represents the person speaking both the languages. At the end, the total persons are given as 1000, and that's why add all these three values and you need to equalize it for 1000. So at the end, 700 minus x plus 430 minus x. If you add, you will get it as 1130 minus x, and this total value is as given as 1000. So this value is 1000. At the end, that x is equals to 130. So without using that n of a union b formula, we found that x is equals to 130. So at the end, it is very clear that 130 persons speak both the languages. And the next part is how many speak only Telugu. From the diagram, 700 minus x people speak only Telugu. So number of persons who speak only Telugu are just nothing but 700 minus x, and that is equals to 700 minus 130. If you solve, you will get it as 570. Is it clear? Okay. So the number of persons who speak only Telugu are 570. So to solve these type of problems, we have two ways. One way is using n of a union b formula, and the other way is simply by analyzing its Venn diagram. So just have a look, and then I will discuss this second one. You just try it for some time. 19b. Yeah. 63% like milk and 76% like tea, then how many like both? So it's very simple problem as we mentioned there. Okay, see, you need to take, since 63% like milk and 76% like tea, the problem involves with percentages, so you need to consider the total persons involved here in the problem is 100. Okay, see, for the above problem, the total persons are 1000. 700 speak Telugu and 430 speak English. Like Telugu and English, in this problem we have milk and tea. Like these numbers, we have 63 and 76. The total number of persons involved in the situation are 100 here, not mentioned here, but since it is a percentage format, you need to treat it like that. So at the end, you need to take n of m is equals to 63 and n of t is equals to 76 and n of t union m, either taking milk or taking tea, and that union is 100 here. The question is about to find the number of how many like both. How many persons will like both tea and milk? That's what we need to find. So again, we have two chances. Either you may go with the formula or you may go with the Venn diagram. So for suppose if you use the formula, that n of t union m, okay, is equals to n of t plus n of m minus n of t intersection m. And if you solve, that t union m is given as 100. Okay, so 100 is equals to n of t is 76 and n of m is 63 minus that question mark you need to find. So if you find that question mark value, which represents the number of persons who like both tea and milk. Okay, that's the problem. Just have a look. I will give you one more problem now. 19c. See, in an exam, 49% failed in English, whereas 36% failed in Hindi and 15% failed in both. If the number of students passed, see, number of students passed in English is only 630, and we need to find the total number of students who attended for the exam. Okay, for the previous problem 19b, since the problem is there in terms of percentages, we considered there the total number of people as 100 actually. But here, See, we can't consider the total number of students as 100 here. Because since the problem is again there in terms of percentages, but the total number of, see, one value is given here, okay, like at 630. From that 630, you need to calculate the total number of students. Right. First think about that. 49% failed in English, 36% failed in Hindi, 15% failed in both. Okay. Yeah. So, for suppose if you consider E as the persons who are passed in English, see what I am going to tell you is, you just take E as the number of persons who passed in English and H as the number of persons who passed in Hindi, and see E intersection H and E union H are everything you know. Since E is the persons who are passed in English and Hindi, then automatically E complement represents as well as H complement represents the number of persons who failed in those particular subjects. As per the problem now, it is given that N of E complement is given as 49. 49% people failed in English, so N of E complement is 49. Whereas H complement, 36% failed in Hindi, so H complement is 36. And 15% failed in both. Since 15% failed in both, so they are failed in English intersection Hindi also. That is given as 15. And at the end the value is given as the number of passed students in English. So you need to calculate what? The number of students who are passed in only English, that's what you need to find. Only English, okay. Right. Next thing is, N of E complement is 49. From there, you need to calculate N of E. Since 49% of the students failed in English, then automatically the remaining 51% passed in English. And N of H complement 36. 36% failed in Hindi. So, since out of the 100% total students, since 36% failed in Hindi, then N of H is simply nothing but 100 minus 36. That 100 minus 36 is how much? So, which is 64%. 64% passed in Hindi. 64%. Everything is there in terms of percentage. Okay, don't forget that. And N of E complement intersection H complement is 15. So, see, just look that E complement intersection H complement. E complement intersection H complement can be rewritten using De Morgan's law as U union H complement. So, N of E union H complement is just simply 15%. And from there, we will write that since E union H complement is 15, then what you say about that N of E union H? Then N of E union H is directly 100 minus 15, which is 85%. Now at the end, we have N of E as 51%, N of H as 64%, N of E union H as 85%. From there, we need to calculate N of E intersection H, and then we need to calculate the percentage of students corresponds to the English only. After that, you need to equalize that percentage of candidates to 630 to find the total number of students. Okay. So, I am erasing this for the space concern. I started the discussion with that E and H represents the number of students passed in the subjects. So, automatically E complement and H complement will become the number of students who failed. Okay. Right. With that discussion, if I start, as per the given, these three are the given statements, and using these three, we derived these three, where this E, H and E union H represents the number of students who are passed in English, Hindi, as well as either in English or in Hindi. And now, see, we have a formula usually. What is that one? N of E union H is equals to N of E plus N of H minus N of E intersection H. E union H is 85, N of E is 51, N of H is 64, minus that E intersection H is that question mark. We need to find. So 64 plus 51 is 115. So that question mark value is 115 minus 85, and that is equals to 30%. So at the end, it is very clear that 30% of the students are passed in both the subjects. Okay, Still I need some space, so for that I will erase the question. You just have a look once again. So at the end what I have? 51% passed in English, 64% passed in Hindi, 85% passed either in English or in Hindi. Then from the formula 30% passed in both the subjects. But here 630 is the number which indicates the number of students who passed in English. So you need to calculate the percentage related to that number of students who passed in English, and for that percentage, so I need to calculate English only. So you may use a formula or you may go with the Venn diagram. Now you just take two circles, one circle for the English and another circle for the Hindi. So this is for English, this is for Hindi. So English and Hindi, see the diagram just represents the number of passed students. So totally E intersection H I get it as 30. So 30% are passed in both the subjects. And the first circle indicates 51. So this part is 21. Whereas the second circle indicates 64, since this part is 30 and this part is 34. And if you add all these three numbers, 34 and 30 is 64 plus 21, 85. So the remaining 15% are out of these circles. So they are failed in both the subjects actually. So this 21% represents the number of students who are passed only in English. 30% passed in both the subjects. 34% passed only in Hindi. 15% not passed both the subjects. Here that 630 as given, which indicates this 21%. So as per the problem, number of students who passed only English is 21% of total students, and that is given as 630. So it is very clear that 21 3s is 63. So the total students is simply 30 into 100, 3000 you will get. At the end the total number of students involved in the situation are 3000. Okay, just have a look. For some part I am using the formula, and afterwards I am moving with the Venn diagram. Okay, just have a look. So and these are three simple problems related to the N of A union B. Okay, and in the next class we are going to discuss some problems related to three sets like A, B and C. Okay.